Hi! As it's come up on my channel a lot recently, I thought I'd make a tutorial on how to write a YouTube revenue sharing claim for partners. I've been a partner for just over a year, and in that time I've learned how to write a revenue sharing claim that seems to keep the YouTube screeners rather happy, and it seemed only fair to pass along that wisdom. If your videos are just entirely you in front of a webcam, YouTube doesn't want much. You have to write something, but really all you need to say is that all video and audio are made by and belong to me. Really, that's it. Simple, simple. But if you're like me and you use a lot of graphics and music in your videos, it gets just a little more complicated. Now I make all of the graphics for my videos, which makes the revenue sharing claim only a little more complicated. All I have to put is all video, voice, graphics, and script are made and copyrighted by me. Again, very simple. That's really all YouTube wants to hear. But I also use a lot of music in my videos, and that's where it gets even more complicated because I don't make that music. All of that music is copyright legal, however. I don't just pull a CD off the rack and use a random track. There are plenty of sites out there with royalty-free or copyright legal music that you can use with very little hassle. My personal favorite is Incompetech.com with music by Kevin MacLeod. He's got good music in tons of genres, and his Creative Commons license is largely hassle-free. Let's suppose I chose the tune Deliberate Thought as the soundtrack to my video. I would write up my revenue sharing claim to look like this. As you can see, I describe the agreement with Kevin MacLeod, leave a link to his Creative Commons agreement, name the piece of music, and leave links to the page where it is on his site and to the track itself. Any YouTube partner claim monitor can easily check for themselves whether my use of this music is valid, which they'll appreciate and which will expedite approval of your video. I've made a simple text file template for myself, so writing up a revenue sharing claim for music takes mere seconds. It's actually not a good idea to fill in the optional information for a song due to some of the funky licensing/royalty agreements in Germany. If your song isn't actually in their database, you'll find it blocked in Germany. As you're using something that's royalty-free, they wouldn't make any money off of it anyway, so don't worry about it. You're not actually violating any laws. Now suppose instead that you wanted to critique another user or do a ponage video of their points. You still can, you just have to jump through a couple of hoops first. Now you're using video footage and audio for which you don't have explicit permission, and that's where fair use comes in. To those of you outside the United States, I'm afraid I only know the U.S. Copyright Act, so I can only describe those fair use provisions. Sorry. Let's suppose you didn't like my review of the movie Tron Legacy. Well, my video is fair game because you're criticizing it. According to the Fair Use provision of the U.S. Copyright Act, you can use material that has been copyrighted by someone else, provided you're doing so for the purposes of education, research, news, parody or satire, comment, or critique. Technically speaking, ponage is comment and criticism. Thus, I write something very specific for my revenue sharing claim on a ponage video. As you can see, I link to the source of the video, I describe why it qualifies under fair use, and then I not only cite the specific part of the U.S. Copyright Act, but I also link to Cornell law to prove I'm not just talking out of my ass. And now it's time to submit your claim, which means you have a choice to make. Eventually, YouTube partners will be put on auto-approve. Once YouTube trusts you to abide by copyright laws, your videos go active with ads pretty much right away. But at first, they individually review your videos to make sure they pass muster. If you want to maximize profits, you should set your videos to private. YouTube will make them go public automatically after they've been approved for revenue sharing. Or you can set them to public right away and only get money from ad revenue after they've been approved. You'll miss out on the bulk of views right at the beginning, but at least people will get to see your video sooner. There are drawbacks and benefits to both methods, but in the end what it comes down to is do you want people to see your videos more quickly, or do you care more about making money? Also, there appears to be a slight glitch in the system where my video revenue sharing claims don't seem to go through unless I click submit at the right time during the upload. The best time to hit save on your revenue sharing claim is after the file has been uploaded completely, but before it's finished processing. This may all seem really complicated, but believe me, after a few times it becomes completely routine. In fact, I'll leave generic templates of these revenue sharing claims in the video description. You can copy, paste, and modify them for your own use as you like. A YouTube copyright claim is not difficult to write, nor is it difficult to keep your videos copyright legal. Just don't use any commercial material unless doing so qualifies under the terms of fair use in the U.S. Copyright Act. For those of you who are new to partnership or are considering applying, I hope that this video has been useful to you. Until next time, fellow space travelers.